I am Maureen Patton. I'm the executive director of the Grand 1894 Opera House. Grand was built in 1894, but it didn't open until January 3rd of 1895. So we always celebrate the season, or the performing arts season as people know it, in our 100th anniversary was the 94-95 season, and we've continued to do that. But it was only a short time before the 1900 storm hit. If you think about January of 1895, about 5.5 years later, the storm hit, and the Grand had already become a very important piece of Galveston. It was built by the business community, and the gentleman who came to town to talk to the city fathers about creating the special opera house was building a series of them along the Gulf Coast. And he told the people of Galveston that Galveston, as the premier city of the state and the Wall Street of the Southwest, deserved the finest opera house he could build. And so raising the money in one day set him on a path so that it opened on January 3rd, 1895. Now, 5.5 years later, after successful programming, amazing people who played the Grand, including troops that would come through Galveston because, again, it was a huge port. We had a cast of 300 people who performed Ben-Hur on that stage. And when you look at the stage today, you wonder how on earth would you ever get 300 people on that stage? And they included 2 horses on treadmill to do the race that they had to do, the chariot race. They reinforced the stage in order to accomplish what they needed to because they had a lot of weight on that stage. So people came from far and wide, even as they do today. Galveston wasn't necessarily a tourist mecca, but people came to Galveston because they loved the beaches, they loved the water, and they loved the opera house. So when 1900 storm hit on that fateful day in September in 1900, the Grand suffered mightily. The Grand had a beautiful structure. It had 4 stories. It was the hotel and opera house. So the facade you saw was the hotel. And at the top of the building was this absolutely stunning cupola that gave it majesty. And when the storm came along, it blew out the back wall of the stage, took the whole roof off, including part of the roof of the hotel and that wonderful cupola. And it just breaks my heart that we've never been able to rebuild that cupola because it really gave such character to the building. So what were we to do when that happened? We have pictures of men in coat and tie, in shovels in their hands, clearing out the bricks that had all fallen out of the building. Galveston needed the Grand to get rebuilt and in business in order to give people a place to go, to gather together, to cry together, and maybe to laugh for a moment, to forget about the horror that they had just gone through. So 13 months after the storm, the Grand reopened in October of 1901. I find it almost impossible to believe that that's the way that worked. And it has been the same thing every storm we've had. If we've had damage, we get to work, we get it done, we get opened. Galveston is a survivor, and there's no better example of that than the Grand 1894 Opera House.
Since 1967, O'Donohoe Insurance Agency has been Galveston's trusted partner for your coverage needs. We tailor auto, home, and life insurance policies just for you. Protect what matters most with us. Visit O'DonohoeAgency.com for peace of mind.